I wanted to take a couple of minutes and welcome you and to also introduce you to your instructor, Cheryl. Um, Cheryl started Tai Chi back in 2005. She started doing Tai Chi and yoga, as well as Bagua and Kung Fu. And she was actually located on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. And in 2006, she took her first seminar with Master Yang. She took the hand form and the saber forms. And in 2007, she started teaching Tai Chi and yoga in Pennsylvania, as well as in Puerto Rico and in Florida. So she's been around. In 2009, she received her Silver Eagle rank, second rank with the International Association, and she was had applied to the third level at our school. However, due to COVID, we, as all you guys know, we had to shut down. So, and I believe we shut down on the 14th, and our ranking was due to happen the following week. So she was just 1 week away from getting her third Golden Eagle rank. But hopefully, the association right now is working on how we can do Zoom ranking. So that should be completed by the end of this month. So hopefully next month we can get going on that, Miss Cheryl.
Yes.
In 2020, she started at our school. She moved here from the East Coast, so we got lucky that she married somebody here on the West Coast that actually was here in Seattle. So we got to benefit from her relocation. And so she started with our school, also started with our teacher training class, and then when we started the Zoom classes in the end of March, she was taking classes, and then after I went through the whole form with everybody, then Cheryl's taken over the teaching of the second section. So this is the second round that she's going to be doing with teaching of the second section. And so you guys are in excellent hands with Cheryl. She, undoubtedly has a lot of Tai Chi under her belt. We are very, very fortunate. Not only did she move here from, the East Coast, but she practices every day, and she's sustained a lot of injuries as well. Not so much doing Tai Chi, but her other sports that she does that if she wants, she can share with you. But needless to say, I have to say that all the instructors that we have on our instructor team are just wonderful instructors, and Cheryl just fits right in. She is our youngest instructor, um, which is really good. It's helping to inspire people who are a little bit younger to start taking Tai Chi, which we know is a little bit challenging because younger people generally want to take fast or external martial arts. So, there's this paradigm that goes around with a lot of young students, and the paradigm is, when you're old and you can't do anything else, you do Tai Chi. But as we know, speaking firsthand, we know how challenging Tai Chi is. So, because they are seeing a lot of elderly people in the parks doing Tai Chi, they don't realize that they've spent their whole lifetime learning Tai Chi. So anyway, I'm going to leave you in good hands, and I know you guys are going to enjoy every single class. And following Cheryl's class, Kelly, go ahead and wave, Kelly. Some of you know Kelly already. Kelly's going to be doing a second section practice Thursdays at 11 a.m. So she is going to be reinforcing what Cheryl's going to be teaching you. So if you want extra practice, if you need extra assistance, go to Kelly's class, and she can help with that. So we've purposely did these classes and the practice sessions so that they work in tandem with each other. Okay? So if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to let me know. And I will now officially turn the class over to Miss Cheryl.
Thank you, Nancy.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so welcome to the second section and Happy New Year. It's great to have everyone back, and it's also great to have all of the new students as well. So before we get started, how many people have not gone through the second section of the form? Anyone? Okay, great. Good, we have some new faces, that's awesome. So we're gonna move through it in the same way. So we always start out class with a salute and some warm-ups, and then we're gonna work on one movement of the form. And then next week, we'll review what we've been working on and add on to that, okay? So we're gonna start with our salute. Thank you for joining me today. Now we're just gonna stand in a neutral position and just do some basic warm-ups. I'll stand closer in the beginning, but a lot of us are doing a lot of sitting due to Zoom and working from home. And even if we work in an office, we do a lot of sitting. So let's start with a warm-up. So just dropping the chin to the chest, we'll lift the head back up, looking all the way up and just drawing the chin back to the chest. Moving at whatever pace feels good for you. Gently warming up. Don't have to do anything too extreme. Maybe 70%. One more time. And then we'll come back to center. And we're going to move from side to side. So just like single whip in the first section, we're going to look over the left or right shoulder, turning the head all the way. Not just looking with your eyes, but trying to get the chin over the shoulder. One more round. And then we'll come back to center, and we're going to link all those together. So we'll start with drawing the chin to the chest, the ear to the shoulder, dropping the head back and around till the ear goes to the other shoulder, chin to chest. Again, moving at a pace that's comfortable for you. We're going to make a few circles going this direction. And then we're going to go the other way. So just gentle stretches. One or two more circles before we come back into that neutral position. Nice. Okay, so moving down the body. You're going to move into the shoulders, so drawing them up, back, and around. Forward, up to the ears, back, and around. Nice circles. Now you can let the arms move. If it feels better and you want to do a full arm circle, feel free. Your body will let you know what feels good. So follow that throughout every class, through the warm-ups and everything. One more circle, and then we're going to go the other way. So back, up, and to the front. And again, if you want to move the arms, if you just want to do more shoulders with a little bit of arm movements, or whole arm circles. One more. And then if we're going forward, so we're going to take one back, kind of reset our shoulders into a neutral position. Moving into the elbows here. We're going to use the elbows as a hinge, and we're going to rotate. See how my elbows aren't moving in space very much? This is just like wave hands like clouds that we're going to see in the second section. So we want to warm up the joints. And then we're going to go the other way. Nice rotations. That looks great. One more. All right, maybe shake out the arms. Now a couple of options for the wrists. You can hold the arms out and just circle, or if you want to do more with the elbows, you can work them both together. So whatever feels good, just the wrists or the elbows. And then we're going to go the other direction again, always both ways. So that would be in and out if you're doing your elbows as well. All right, maybe shake out the arms. So we're going to work that back, the spine now, kind of get it a little bit warmed up. So feet, shoulders distance, nice rooting to the ground. And we're going to try to keep our hips pretty stable. And we're going to turn from our waist, and you can let the arms just swing. And again, this is moving as far as feels comfortable. So if only do a little bit, that's fine. One or two more times. And then slowly easing off. Back to center. And we're going to move into the hips. So if you'd like, you can put the hands on the hips. It's up to you. We're going to make a circle. So pushing out at the front, to the side, back, out to the other side. Full circles. Opening up the hips. And then again, we're going to go the other direction. One or two more circles. And then we're going to move down to the knees. Okay, back to center. With the knees, you can place your feet together, hands on the knees, and we're going to circle. Now you can continue like this and then go the other direction after a couple of circles, or you can take the feet wide and you can do 2 circles. Always following your body. So if you ever need to take a break, feel free. We're going to go the other direction now. Couple circles. And then we're going to come back up to that standing position. One more joint left before we shake it all out, the ankles. So if you want to grab onto a chair or wall or something, or you can lift the foot a little bit off the ground or a lot, and we're going to rotate. So making a circle with the foot. Nice big circle. And then other direction. Kind of working on our balance when we do this. It'll come in handy when we get to the kicking section. Okay, shake out that leg, and then we're going to do the other one. So picking up, find your balance, and then circling with the foot. And the other direction. Okay. All right, let's shake it all out. So I like to draw the shoulders up to the ears. We're standing up and then bending into the legs. We're going to throw the body weight down. So coming up and down, really throwing the energy down. We're going to do this in succession. You'll hear my voice shake as I do this. Just kind of letting the energy out, letting everything flow. Just hanging, muscles are hanging off the body. Really tossing them down, and then we're going to ease off. Maybe shake it out. All right, is everyone warmed up now? Feel ready? Okay, so this first section ends with cross hands. Now, this section starts and ends at cross hands, okay? So our first movement is called Embrace the Tiger, Return to the Mountain. And it's gonna look similar to a brush knee movement, but the meaning is very different, okay? So I'm gonna demonstrate it one time in a couple of different directions. Now, if you know the movement, please feel free to join in, or if you just wanna watch, feel free, okay? This is your class, it's your experience, so make it the best you can. So I'm gonna start facing the other direction so that you can see what it looks like this way, and then I'll show you the arms. So we start, our arms are crossed, and our right arm is on the outside. So it would be your right arm's on the outside, okay? I'm gonna face the other direction just to show you one time. So we start with the arms crossed. We shift our weight to the right so we can rotate our left foot on the heel. We separate the arms, making 2 half circles. We step out for a bow stance. We open up, and then we show striking. It's to the corner, less than corner direction, okay? So to show you again from a different direction, we're in cross hands. We shift our weight to the right. We turn our left foot almost to straight, shift our weight back, separate the arms, open up, step, and then we show striking at the end. Okay. So let's start with the footwork because the arms are a little bit more difficult. And in Tai Chi, we want to make sure that we have a really solid base. Okay, our lower half should always feel heavy. Our middle should feel flexible and our upper body should feel light. So we want to make sure that our footwork feels secure and rooted throughout these movements, okay? So we start this movement in a shoulder width stance. So that means that the edges of our feet are in line with the outside edges of our shoulders, okay? We sit down into our legs into a comfortable position. We're gonna move our weight. I'm gonna mirror you. We're gonna move our weight to our right leg so that we can turn our left foot as far as we can to the straight direction. We're gonna move our weight back into our left leg so we can pick up, and then we step out to less than corner direction and move our weight forward. So everyone look down at your stance. Now, if you turned your left foot to the same direction as your right foot and you pulled your right foot back, do you have a shoulder width stance? A little adjustments there. Okay, let's do it again, okay? Yes, good. Okay, so when we're doing this, so a lot of you have been through this with me, and what I'd like to include this time is a little bit more still practice. So we are gonna hold some postures a little bit longer this time, okay? So let's do it again. So check your shoulder width, maybe look down at your feet, make sure that they're totally straight first. Sink down into your legs. You're gonna move your weight to the right. Turn your body so that your left foot can turn almost to straight. Shift your weight back so you can pick up your right foot. And then you're gonna step out for a bow stance. Heel, ball, toe, weight moving forward. Let's see. Good angles on the bow stance. I like the line from your legs through to the top of your head. That looks really good. Okay, how does everyone feel about the footwork? We use this a lot. Somebody said it recently. They were like, you can do 1 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know. We use a lot of signals in Zoom here, okay, because we're on mute. Okay, all right, so let's talk about the arms, okay? So we're in cross hands. I'm gonna try to mirror you, but to be honest, I haven't practiced this, so we'll see how it goes, okay? So let's take our right arm down, and we're just gonna work on our left arm, okay? So the left arm, it's gonna circle down. So it's gonna come down, pull down, and then using that elbow joint that we were warming up, we're gonna rotate, and the palm's gonna sit up. Good. One more time. So left arm, so we're in cross hands. It's gonna pull down, and then it's gonna circle, rotating down the elbow till it sits up at the corner direction. Nice. So then after that, it draws in front of the shoulder so that we can strike out. Good. And it always comes directly from our shoulder. So if you'll notice here, you can't see my shoulder. That's because my palm is in line with it. So if you stand and face the camera, and we could even do a little bit of waist movement. So we pull down, we turn and rotate and sit up the palm, come back, and then when we end up straight, you shouldn't be able to see your shoulder in your camera. Good. That looks really good. Okay, so that arm's not too bad, right? How does everyone feel about that side? So that one's a little bit easier than the other side. Yes, Marion?
Okay, so I just want to clarify exactly that angle of the circle, because I think I'm not rotating my elbows so much as like trying to draw a circle and then, you know,
can you tilt your camera down a little bit so I can see your circle?
I would say I've been doing mine more like this. So I'm not
Okay.
really rotating exactly on the elbow, but that's it. Just pull and then straight. I mean, not straight, but pulling down into a circle. But as soon as you reach the end of your elbow, you need to be just coming up in an arc.
It looks really good. The only thing that I would mention is that when you're doing this movement, when you pull down, we don't want to pull down and close off the shoulder here. So we don't want to pull and close off the shoulder. When we do this movement, we want to pull back. We still want to let the energy flow here. Can you see the difference from being here to being here? This space that's available?
Yeah.
Because this part of your circle looks great. It looks really good. So you just want to, when you do these movements, we always want to keep our armpits open. So what does that mean? Whenever we're pulling back or our arms are to the side, we want to have that feeling like hug a tree. Even though our arms back here, I should still feel the connection, that I'm not pulling too far back and opening up my chest and losing that back rounded feeling. So when you do this, keep the back round, keep the armpit open instead of pulling in close. So pull back and then circle down. Your circle looks great.
Well, thank you. So just to clarify, is that exactly the same motion that we do in brush knee to get back? Because I haven't been focusing on pivoting on that elbow.
So brush knee is very similar. Stay away from hamstrings loop because you are rotating. So it is that pulling down and then rotating. It is a similar feeling, but there is a difference from the starting point. Okay. Be it if we start from, say, one brush knee to the other, because we're going to be further forward here, but then we're still going to have that same circle.
Maybe that's why it feels a little different. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it will, because the beginning is a little different.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, let's just do that left arm one more time, everyone. So we're in our neutral position. We just got our inside left arm up. We're going to pull back and we're going to circle down, rotate, sit the palm up. Then the palm's going to come sit in front of the shoulder so that we can strike straight out from our shoulder. Okay, good. Anyone else have a question on that part of the arm movements? Okay, let's talk about the right arm. This one's going to be a little more fun. So if we just have our right arm up, what's going to happen is that the arm's going to sit up a little bit. Then it's going to make a circle and sit down. This one's a little harder. Okay, so your right arm, so we're in the cross hands. I'm going to put it up just so you can see. What's going to happen is this arm has to, your left arm has to escape, right? So your right arm's going to sit up as your left arm pulls down. Then it's going to make a small circle and it's going to sit. Now by sitting, I mean that it's sitting on the side. We're not sitting like we're striking, we're sitting and it's rounded. We're about chest level. That looks good.
Can you do
okay, so the right arm.
The hand circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this is the difficult part. So the arm comes up. It's going to make a little circle and sit down. Good. And remember here, we don't want to have too much bend in the elbow. We want to have it rounded. So we want to have space. Okay, so from this direction, it's going to come up. It's going to make a little circle and then sit down. And then it's pretty easy from here because it's going to open up and then pull back down, ending up kind of by the knee. Okay, so let's put them together. Right arm on the outside, making sure we have that space here. We don't want to be too close, okay? Just like our hug a tree. Left arm pulls down, right arm comes up. We're going to make 2 circles and we end up in that brush knee-like position. As the right arm opens up, the left hand comes in front of the shoulder. The right hand goes back and the left hand goes forward. That looks good. And remember here, we want to have a little bit of turn to the palm, not too flat. A little bit of turn because we're showing striking with this portion of the palm here, okay? So it's always great if you have a wall. You guys can't see it, but there's a wall right here. You can actually feel what that would feel like. And then you can understand because your bones meet up here. Yes, Maria, yes. It's a good thing to practice so then you understand which portion of the palm you're hitting with, okay? So one more time, right arm on the outside, left arm pulls down, right arm comes up. We're gonna make that little circle. All things arrive together. Then we open up and we show striking, one forward, one back. Nice. Okay, you're gonna hear me say that a lot, right? It's Tai Chi, yin and yang. So one moving forward, one moving back. Things are in checks and balances with each other, okay? So let's try to put it together. Now, I'm gonna face the opposite direction at first so that you guys can see the end point, and then I'm gonna ask you which looks best. I wanna turn to the side so you can see everything, but I feel like it might be a little bit confusing. So let's all start in cross hands. So our feet are shoulders distance, our right arm's on the outside. Our arms don't change when we move our weight to the right. We turn our left foot. Nothing changes. Move back the weight, the arms separate. Circle the right arm, left arm, step out. Now everyone pause in this back position here. Did you step out and your hands were in this first position we were pausing? That's what we want to get. Now from here, move the weight forward. Stop when your hand gets to your shoulder. Now check your stance. Where's your weight? Do you have anything left? Are you in the middle of your stance? So now when we continue, you can show striking with the full power of the body. Now hold for a moment. Let's see. If so many people have cameras on, it's nice to see what you guys are doing. Okay, so our left hand should be relaxed, okay? When we finish this movement, no matter the length of our stance, our hand's gonna be about hip level and we want it relaxed. So try not to stiffen up here or here. Have that relaxed feeling. Now, when we talk about relax, it's not what we as Americans think. Okay, but relax everyone, come back. Nancy was really great about this yesterday in the 10 Essentials class. Relax is connection. It's connecting all of the muscles and tendons of the body so they all work together. So that's what we're talking about when we say relax. But I also say relax because I don't want to see anyone like really stiff. I want you to relax. Let the energy flow in your body. Let the muscles do their jobs, okay? Yes, I like when I see this. Okay, let's do it again. I'm gonna do it from this side direction so then you can see everything, okay? So from cross hands, we're in our legs, heads lifting up, relaxed, shoulders down. Shift the weight to the right. Turn the body and the left foot. Separate the arms. 2 circles. They end up at the back when we step. Check your position here. Did your foot touch and your hands were finishing their up and down movement? Now open up, hand comes in front of the shoulder. Check your weight. Do you have enough left to finish the posture? So everything arrives together. Nice work. Does anyone have any questions? We're professionals? Really? Let's do it again. I'm gonna face the other direction this time so we're all moving the same way. So from cross hands, right arm's on the outside, shift the weight, the whole body turns, separate the arms, 2 circles, step, check your position. Are you relaxed? Do you have enough space? Here's another one. Are your right fingertips pointing towards your left forearm? Are we too far out? Are we too far in? They should point to your forearm center, and we're looking back towards the left palm. And then as we open up, we turn our gaze to the direction, the corner direction, and then we finish our weight moving forward as we strike. Let's see. Everyone hold for a moment. We're gonna work on some things, okay? I'm gonna hold with you, so we'll all be there. Okay, so holding, if you wanna turn, everyone turn towards the camera and hold that, come back to that position, okay? Let's talk about a couple of things here. Take a moment, look down at your stance. Is your stance shoulder width? Now check your legs. Is your back leg locked out? Can you see the difference when I lock it versus when I relax the joint? Can you see your toes over your left foot? Now we're gonna move to the hips. But first we're gonna talk about the weight. Where's the weight on your feet? Does anyone have the answer? I'm gonna give you a moment to go to your space bars or your unmute button. Who has the answer? Where's the weight in your feet?
The bubbling well.
Yes, yes, Marion, the bubbling well. So that is the point behind our toes. So you should feel the weight in your bubbling wells. Our knees are relaxed. Now check your hips. Are your hips level, or are we kicked out to one side or the other? So check your hips. Now check your waist, okay? Are you tucking out, creating a pinch in the back? Are you tucking down? Tailbone pointing down, relaxing, what they call the gateway of life, okay? Between the third and fourth lumbar, relaxing that, lengthening the spine. How's your breathing? Are you breathing, belly breathing, inhaling, letting your abdomen expand, exhaling, drawing it back in? If your breathing is strained, the energy is not flowing. Yes, Michelle, you have to breathe. This is a big thing for Tai Chi. And if you know the whole form, I would say spend one session focusing on your breathing, okay? Because right now we're all holding this stance, right? So your legs might feel a little bit of a burn, but how's your breathing? Okay? Now if we put our arms back up, how are your shoulders relaxed? Are your elbows pointed down? We're not pointed out to the sides. We're relaxed and pointed down. Now I know I told you to look at your feet, but are you looking down like this, or is your head lifted up and your spirit raised? Okay, good. Now shake it out. That was like a minute of holding the stance. Good work. So, you know, the form is an essential part of our practice, but there's other things that we should be practicing and that we should be thinking about while we're training. One of them is still practice. Still practice is a great way to work through the 10 essentials and hold the posture and work through each of these things like we just did, from the top up or the bottom up. You know, either way, you can do this in your home practice. And then there's the martial arts meaning. Now, Tai Chi is well known because of the health benefits, but it's also a martial art. And the reason that we spend a lot of time talking about the martial art aspect of it is because the martial arts meaning helps us position our body, okay? So knowing the meaning gives you an intention when you're doing the form so that you understand what it is, but it will also help with the alignment of your form, okay? So let's talk about the meaning. Now, this is where I always wish my husband wasn't at work and I could use him as a test dummy, essentially, to show you guys what the meaning is, but I don't have him here, so we're gonna show you the best that I can. Because this movement looks exactly like brush knee, but the meaning is very different. This is talking about someone grabbing you from behind. So if someone grabbed my shoulders. So the reason we have that whole movement is because if someone has grabbed me from behind, I'm gonna turn, and what's gonna happen is they're here in this space, okay? and I'm gonna step behind their stance. So it would be like, this is the best I got, guys, is a couple of pillows here. So if somebody was here in this space and they were behind me, I would turn and I would step on this side of them. Do you see that meaning? So what happens is there's a person here, and I'm gonna use the right arm to sweep them over my leg. Does that make sense?
Yeah, good visual.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, it's one of the hardest movements to show without another person, but I hope you understand. So it's someone's behind you and you're gonna step around that person, because what you're doing is you're setting yourself up so that they're standing probably fully and you're in this nice low position and you're just gonna push them over your leg, right? Our legs has some of the strongest muscles in the body. So we're gonna keep that rooted feeling, that stable feeling, and we're just gonna use our body to push them over, okay? So now let's practice the movement again. You know the meaning. We just worked on well, not all of them, but a lot of the principles. Let's try to put it all together, okay? So I'm gonna face the other direction so we all move the same way. Check your feet, shoulders width, right arm on the outside. Now move the weight, turning. We're gonna circle the arms, step out, less than corner, and we're opening up and striking. Let's see. Oh, it looks really good. Okay, let's see lots of great angles. So we always want an angle. Everyone come look. So when we finish our postures, can you see the line from my leg all the way up to the crown of my head? We never want to be like this, okay? We don't want to be too lean. When we're like this, it's probably hard to breathe, to be completely honest. We want to find that in-between position. And we always want to have a natural stance, whatever length that is, and that will help with our breathing, allowing the energy and blood to flow freely throughout the body, okay? Let's do it one more time. So from cross hands, right arm on the outside, shift the weight, turning. We know the meaning. We're going to be stepping behind somebody, and then we're going to open up and show striking. We're striking straight out, but it could also be a strike to their stomach or abdomen. Good. Return. Any questions?
At the end, your weight, is your weight still in the bubbling well, or is it on your right front foot?
So it's a bow stance. So it's about 60-40, sorry. So it's still, whenever we're doing these stances, so we have our bow stance and our empty stances, our center neutral position, our kicks. Anytime we do those, we still have the weight in our bubbling well. So what does that mean, right? When I'm doing this movement here, if my knee's too far forward, all the weight's in my toes now, my heel is freely, and now this heel is even free off the ground. If my weight's not enough forward, now I can lift my toes and this foot's like extremely rooted, right? So we want to find the balance of where we feel like it's hard to pick up either foot, okay? We want to feel rooted to the ground like suction cups, just stuck to the floor. Now, we want this throughout everything. So if we move back our weight, we pick up and change to the ball, foot, and toes. The weight difference here, we have more weight in our back leg, but we should still feel the same thing. Now, it's going to be different if we change to our heel, because now the base of our heel is what's accepting the weight in the front, but it should still feel that way in the back leg. Does that help, Michelle?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So,
good.
Cheryl, I have a question about
Yes.
stepping out with the right foot. So keeping the image of going around someone, it makes more sense to me that I would be almost making a circle as I step out in order to get around somebody's body, around their leg, rather than just straight back into as wide a bow stance as, far apart as I can get. I mean, I'm not going to just, it depends, I guess, on where they're standing, but is it
It does. And
should you come back a little bit and try to step around before you place that foot, or do you just step out, not to corner?
well, so think of the form as kind of, what's the right word? It's not a blueprint, because a blueprint, it would be exact, but it's like a general idea, right? So when we're doing these movements, that we have these specific requirements, right? That we want your body to be in this position. Now that position is for the best alignment of our body. But when we're doing this, if we were doing this in a martial application, the alignment would be different because of the opponent. So if someone's taller than me, I'm going to have a higher stance. Or if someone's shorter than me, I'm going to sink down into my legs more, or my hand placement isn't going to be directly in line. Maybe it's a little bit lower. But when it's in line, this gives me the most power. So it's the same thing here. When we're doing this movement and we transfer our weight to the right and we turn, the way that we're showing stepping around the opponent is by drawing in our leg first and then stepping out to the corner.
Okay.
So even though when we do this with an opponent, maybe we're going to be stepping out more to the straight direction and then move forward and maybe rotate our left foot for an application when we're working with somebody else. But in the form for alignment purposes, we're going to turn our left foot as far as we can, and then we're going to step out to that less than corner direction. And that less than corner direction is going to depend on how far you can turn your left foot. So if you have the flexibility and you can turn your left foot all the way to the corner direction or to the straight direction, then you can step out directly to corner. But almost everyone, we turn less than straight.
Okay.
So then our bow stance is less than corner.
So we are aiming, attempting to go as straight as possible with the first turn on the left foot?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't understand that. I thought.
And that depends on a couple of things.
Okay.
Here, maybe I'm gonna tilt down so then it'll be closer. You're gonna see a little bit of my wall here and those lovely pillows. Okay, so when we're doing this, our feet are shoulders width, right? So that gives me the space after I've shifted to turn this foot as far as possible, okay? Now, if my feet are less than shoulders distance apart, once I go to turn my foot, can you see that my toes are now hitting my other shoe? So that's not going to be possible, right? So a lot of this stuff depends on when we land, when we come from push and we turn and we step in for cross hands. Look, I stepped a little narrow. You want to make sure that you want a true shoulders width. Okay. Now, this is a hard thing to achieve, right? And as we practice more and more, our bow stance will become more and more standard. So there's ways to do this. You can take tape and tape your floor at your house with some painter's tape or your carpet like I do. And you can actually practice moving from bow stance to bow stance, or shifting your weight from push to cross hands so you can practice and look down. And that's where still practice really comes in handy, because say we're in push from the first section and we move back and we've chopped, so we can stop here and look down and see, oh, my foot needs to go a little bit more to straight. Then we can do cross hands and step in and look down and say, okay, well, it's kind of close, but it'd be nicer if it was a little bit wider. So this week, I want everyone to do some still practice. I want you to take, I think Nancy calls them Kodak moments, which is kind of key, because they're picture things, right? So when we're doing this movement, we want to think that, okay, so cross hands is the 1. We move, turn. This is 2. We separate. The next one is when we step out, and then we open up, and you could count this halfway. And then here, so take a moment this week and work on those things in your footwork, you know, because it all then clicks together. It's really hard to explain, but breaking things down like that will help, you know. And know that sometimes when we're telling you the meanings of things, like if we had another person to show you, it would be a lot easier. But know that the meaning, when you would use it in a martial application, it would probably look different than what the form looks like.
Well, I think your pillows.
But knowing the meaning will help.
I think the pillows work really well for that. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You gotta be creative on Zoom. You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? No questions? Okay, let's do a time check. Okay, it's 4:47. Let's practice cross hands again. And then next week, we're gonna go over cross hands, and then we're gonna go through the rest of this movement. So essentially, it's like grasping the bird's tail. And we'll start working on that next week, okay? So together, starting at cross hands, we're starting, right? So we can look down, check your footwork, right arm on the outside, head lifting up, relaxing the weight, shoulders down, and space between your arms and your chest. Embrace the tiger, return to the mountain, shift the weight, turning, separate the arms, 2 circles, step, open up, and strike. Release. Let's do it one more time, okay? Full flow, no stopping. So from cross hands, embrace the tiger, shifting the weight, turning, separate the arms, 2 circles, step out, open up, and strike. Release. Great stances, everyone. You did really great today. Thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure having you in class. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your explanations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Great class, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl.